Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And the boss of YouTube is stepping down. Susan Wojcicki, I think it's Wojcicki, who's been with Google for a very, very, very long time.
Since the beginning, pretty much.
Since the beginning, and has been in charge of YouTube for a number of years now. She is stepping down to do other things that we're not really elaborating on.
When they say passion projects, it usually means they have nothing else lined up.
Yeah, so we don't know what's actually going on here, but it is interesting that this came, a month or so after it was announced that YouTube missed their revenue goals. But everybody kind of expected that because digital advertising has taken a hit.
And she's been there so long, I don't think they get rid of her over that.
I don't think so either. I mean, again, she's been one of Google's first employees. She's been there for a very long time, but on her watch, there's been, some controversy about censorship and the adpocalypse.
I don't know if it's going to get much better, though.
I don't think it's going to get much better. No, because we looked to see who the replacement is, and it's
it could get worse.
It could get worse. So let's talk about this. Before we get to it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. I think we're almost at 294,000. I don't know.
I think we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, woohoo anyway. Woohoo anyway, guys.
I'm just happy to be here.
So we're trying to get to 300,000. So if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be fantastic. Make sure you like our content. Make sure you ring the bell for notifications. YouTube doesn't like it when you don't interact with the content. They will penalize us for that, penalize you for that. They'll penalize people for everything.
I don't want to leave for passion projects.
No, we don't want to leave for passion projects. Geeky's going to start a brushable hair salon.
No.
That's what she's going to do. But yeah, so this is coming from Engadget. Susan is stepping down. She's starting a new chapter to focus on her family, health, and passion projects.
That's usually the excuse that you give, though, when you're getting gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe she's not. Maybe she has health issues. I don't know. She said she's been involved with Google practically since the beginning. The company's founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, set up office in her parents' garage soon after they incorporated Google in 1998. Wojcicki became Google's first marketing manager the following year, and I think her sister is in charge of, 23andMe? I think I read. Oh, is it?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Among other things, she played a role in the earliest Google Doodles, co-created Google Image Search, and was the first product manager of AdSense. So she's done a lot. In 2006, she encouraged Google to buy YouTube, which debuted a year earlier. 8 years later, Wojcicki took over YouTube and became one of the few women to run a major tech business. So she's been running YouTube for a while, but she's been involved with Google since day one, During her tenure, YouTube became an increasingly important part of Google and Alphabet. The platform's ad revenue alone accounted for over 10% of the company's total revenue last quarter. Her run as CEO hasn't been all smooth sailing, of course. The platform has long struggled with moderation issues.
Yeah, they don't have enough people to check things, for one.
Including hate speech and misinformation, as we're building up to her replacement.
Hate speech, misinformation. Meanwhile, people get flagged, unfairly, or people get maligned for telling the truth.
Yes.
But it was listed as misinformation by certain parties that were certain things.
For her part, Wojcicki made a point to listen to YouTube creators and users and address their concerns directly.
When called out, like that one kid that was sick and that they was doing a thing where he got 1 million, or was trying to get to 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp was helping him.
Yeah.
His channel got taken down, remember?
Yes.
Was it Cody? Got his channel taken down temporarily because it flagged stuff, and then they had to, CC her in to finally get her to do something. She did step in eventually.
You almost had a Freudian slip. You almost said CCP.
No,
because,
no, I didn't. But anyway, that's a you thing.
In her farewell letter, she said that Neil Moen, her de facto deputy, is taking over as the new chief of YouTube. He arrived at the company when Google bought DoubleClick in 2007. So he's also been there for a while. But he went on to become YouTube's chief product officer in 2015, launched YouTube TV, YouTube Music, Premium, and Shorts.
Well, before you get to the last part, YouTube TV is what they're trying to double down on. They're trying to get these streaming deals and stuff to replace the YouTubers that built the channel to begin with.
Pretty much. I mean, basically, YouTube is going to be ThemTube, because what they're going to do is turn YouTube, especially with this stuff going on with Hulu, and we all know what's going on with that, but they're going to try to turn YouTube into broadcast TV.
Right. And basically you can't beat them. That's the media, to Hollywood and the media think, we'll just go to YouTube and take over.
And it's already happening. I mean, look.
It's not working.
It's not working very well, but, compare YouTube, like how you could get front paged on YouTube 10 years ago to current year, whereas if you don't have, the backing of an NBC or an ABC, you're probably not going to, because it's all like Saturday Night Live and Jimmy Kimmel. And,
right. So it's a lot of shit. But anyway, this part is what got me. Moen also led the service's trust and safety team.
Yeah, now, we didn't do a separate video on it, but there are certain advertisers that are able to magically disable their downvotes completely, including Lucasfilm for the Indiana Jones 5 trailer.
Disney for the...
Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Well, they hide the downvotes, yes.
And this change, I believe, and a lot of other people believe, was because of advertisers putting pressure. These studios putting pressure on YouTube.
That's what the apocalypse was.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't about, PewDiePie did a thing, but lots of other YouTubers did a thing too, and they did a lot more than he did, and it didn't trigger adpocalypse. This was basically legacy media realizing that YouTube was eating their lunch, and they wanted to try to put as big of a dent into it as possible.
People are tired of listening to legacy media, which is why they're coming to YouTube to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is interesting, though. He's going to be senior vice president and the head of YouTube rather than CEO.
That is interesting.
With all we're doing across shorts, streaming, and subscriptions, together with the promises of AI, YouTube's most exciting opportunities are ahead, and Neil's the right person to lead us.
Oh, boy.
She won't be leaving YouTube entirely. In the short term, I plan to support Neil and help with the transition, which will include continuing to work with some YouTube teams, coaching team members, and meeting with creators. She said she'll still be involved with Google and Alphabet moving forward, as she'll serve as an advisor. This will allow me to call on my different experiences over the years to offer counsel and guidance across Google and the portfolio of Alphabet companies.
So basically, they're removing a CEO position from this and rolling it into something else, which is why she's probably going on to passion projects. Because I'm doing passion projects, but I'm still here doing all this other shit.
Yeah, this
That's
is
weird.
This is kind of like we've had bosses at companies before. I've had bosses at companies before where when they get gone, they go on to freelance consultant or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they're still going to bring her in because she does have a wealth of knowledge. But yeah, there's definitely some big change coming at YouTube.
Well, what's interesting too, they don't have that many women, as they pointed out, leading companies. So you take one of the big ones, and suddenly they're stepping down. But they're not stepping down. They're still going to be there a whole lot, but they're not CEO anymore. And this person's not going to be CEO either. It's a senior vice president or whatever, which means somebody else is in charge of this department.
Yeah. So what are they going to do? Are they going to consolidate? Or are they going to? They're obviously
weird.
There are obviously big changes coming now. Again, there are competitors out there, YouTube competitors. I don't think a lot of them are really any threat to YouTube. People keep trying to push us to get on to Rumble and Odyssey and all that. And from my point of view, it looks like Rumble especially is just all politics.
Which we don't like that. People will say we do, but we really don't. We only bring it up because it applies to this pop culture stuff because sadly they're intertwined, which is what people hate.
Yeah, so I don't know if YouTube gets worse with the censorship and with the the advertising and all that jazz. More people may look for other options, so it might actually be a boon to these other platforms. But yeah, something's going on. This is a very odd announcement. It's a very weird timing. It came right after the Super Bowl, and YouTube is pushing into streaming and sports and all that.
Sounds like somebody that his department was more like the AI and all that where they want to go. Sounds also like they're getting rid of the position of CEO. It's possible she just has health issues because it's where they mention health, but that could just be like, smoke screen.
It's stress, dealing with it. Or is it a case of she sees what's coming down the pipeline and she does not want to be responsible for it? That could be too. She could, I'm sure she doesn't need the money, but she could even be like, I see where YouTube is headed, and I definitely don't want to be the one that signs off on this stuff. It might be, and look, I'm not giving her a pass or whatever, she is the CEO, but it might be a lot of weird stuff that's happened at YouTube, the censorship, and the channels getting randomly demonetized or taken down, or whatever. That's below her pay grade, and it might be that she doesn't even...
Well, that sounds like the Twitter. Well, no, I was going to say that sounds like the job that the guy coming in had.
Yeah. Yes. So...
Yeah.
It might get worse.
It might get worse.
I'm concerned it's going to get worse.
I think it might get worse. I think the censorship might get worse. I think they're going to try to turn YouTube more into like broadcast television.
And the reason people are at YouTube is because they don't want broadcast television. So making it more of the same isn't going to fix anything. If you're worried about your numbers being down and your revenue being down, that's probably the wrong way to go.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but we will probably be here until the bitter end.
Yes.
We'll see. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.